Financial. Here we are today, Tuesday after a long weekend. It's a little bright in here. I need to work on that. They cleaned the windows in the office, pulled the blinds up, and I can't get them back down. So I'll have to fix that. I know I'm a little probably shiny on the one side. That truly is just the light I'm dealing with. But hopefully we can get it all together before next week's episode. As well as I'm recording some episodes of Protea Conversations later today. So I definitely have to solve for that, so I don't look too shiny. So I wanted to come in today and share two secrets with you. I have two secrets that I want all of you to know about. Secret one, I am horrible at work-life balance. I generally will put everything before myself, be that my work, my kids, my wife, my coaching, everything that goes with it. I am horrible, horrible, horrible at finding balance. And I really do need to do a better job of it. Secret number two, I actually took some time off this weekend. And time off to me means I worked an hour each day. I cleared my emails. I did a little bit of social media. But I took the weekend off. I did not put time into my calendar to work. And honestly, when was the last time I've actually done that on a weekend? I don't know. I truly can't remember. And that's why I am horrible at this whole work-life balance thing. And I thought today, I wanted to ask you the question. Does work-life balance exist? Is that even a thing? Is it really possible to be in a situation where everything is in perfect harmony? Or is that a fallacy? And rather, you feel in a great place when you're spending the time working and concentrating on the specific task at hand as necessary. And sometimes that'll be work, sometimes that'll be family, sometimes that'll be yourself. Does work-life balance matter? Does it exist? Now, what I do want to say to you, though, taking time off is important. And I say this from a person who's horrible at taking time off. Most of my vacations include me working still. But you know what? That's part of my definition of work-life balance, is that I'm able to take these trips, go away, have family time, but also find time to make sure my work, my inbox stays clear. It makes me feel comfortable, puts me in a good position. But that's not for everybody. That doesn't work for everybody, and no, not everybody should be striving for that situation. What you should be trying to figure out is what is the best balance for you. But taking time off is important, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, it really is important to get a mental recharge. And I know you can get a mental recharge on a daily basis, maybe by exercising or having a conversation with a family member, calling a friend, taking a walk in nature. But it is important to truly switch off once in a while and give your brain an opportunity to not think about the pressures of work. And this could be in other parts of your life as well. I coach kids sport. I also am on the board that runs a fairly large rec program. After the season ended, people wanted to talk to me about certain things. And I said, honestly, I just need to take a couple of weeks off, not think about soccer anymore, because I need my brain to refresh and I need to be able to look at things in a balanced point of view. So taking time off from any activity can be really, really good for you because it can free your mind up and allow you to focus more clearly when you return. Obviously, taking time off is a great opportunity to find ways to connect with your family or friends. When I'm working long hours, I do tend to neglect others. Not my family as much, but definitely my friends. I personally am a person that can go very long periods without personal interactions. So it's very easy for me to ignore family and friends, and that's not a good thing. You need to make sure you're maintaining relationships in your life because relationships are important. I've spoken about community before, but those personal relationships make a big difference. They give us an opportunity to relax, rewind, and just know that there's somebody that you can vent to every now and then. So taking some time off will be a great opportunity to give those people important in your life your full attention and not be distracted by work. And lastly, the most important part, I think, of taking time off, it's a great way to find happiness and joy. We don't all want to just be working all the time. We have other hobbies. Now, I just spoke about soccer. I coach my kids' sports. I also love hiking, getting outside. I did 2 hikes this weekend, one of 5.5 miles, one of 4.5 miles. Loved them both. It was a great opportunity to spend 2 hours outside each day, just refreshing the mind, being in a space I love, and doing something I love. And with one of them, I was around my family, which is amazing as well. It was just a great feeling to be able to connect with them in a place I enjoy. So I highly recommend taking time off. It is important. I encourage all my team members at Protea to take time off. I encourage every person listening to this podcast to find some time to take off. It's important. I have 2 trips planned for the summer, maybe going to work in a third one as well. That's an opportunity to get away from my normal routine and even be in a different space, a different point of view, and experience different things. I'm looking forward to those trips. So 100% find ways to take some time off, relax and recharge. Be that from work, be that from a commitment that you're doing on your personal side for a charity. Always find time to just break away, refresh that mind. It will help you be more productive and probably help you find a little bit of real remotivation to be able to do what you want to do in a better way. Now let's get back to the topic of work-life balance. And you can go search the internet now. You can check into ChatGPT. Help me find work-life balance, and there'll be a different bunch of writings about it, and the importance of it, and it's a weird one, right? I don't truly think it exists, but I do think it is important to find a balance in your life that makes you happy. And you can call that work-life balance, or you can just call that a balanced life. But what is important in all of this is not to get stuck in the mindset, well, I can only work between 8 and 5 because that's what I want to do because I need to do work-life balance. Like that sort of conversation is just a little crazy. Because I hear about people talking work-life balance and then they set these boundaries for work and then what do they do in their spare time? They watch Netflix and eat popcorn. That's great once in a while, but is that really fulfilling you? If it is, fantastic. But if you're looking for work-life balance, you need to understand that there needs to be something in the life to find that balance for. Now, obviously, it's not up to me to tell you what your life should look like, but you should be aiming to do things that make you happy. And I sometimes think that the conversation around work-life balance gets a little mixed because people think the volume of work they do is going to dictate how happy they are. Where realistically, what makes us happy is making the most of the time we have available. I know people that have amazing work-life balance but work a ton of hours, but they use the hours they're not working in the most productive way, and they focus on doing things that they love the most, and at the same time find ways to recharge. Now again, over the last 10 years of running Protea, I've definitely put my work before my own health a lot of the time. Never before my family, but definitely before my own health, which, roll it down, bad for my family as well. I will neglect exercising. I'll neglect that fun thing I want to do for myself. I'd neglect that walk or that hike to rather get some work in. I don't miss sports games. I coach as much as I can, and I try to be there for my wife and kids all the time. But 100% I forget about myself a lot of the time. And that's not very good. I've been very mindful in 2024 to make sure that I'm not only just finding time for work and family, but also finding a little bit of time for myself. The vast majority of that time that I'm finding for myself is to do some form of exercise. I've found one of the best ways for me to get some sort of exercise, and it is, you know, it's light, is just get outside and get a short walk in. Just a quick 20-minute walk, just to break away. I'm going to go quickly. I've also instituted in the last couple of months exercising every single morning. I finish my sort of work shift at like 6:40 a.m. and then I get into a workout straight away. I understand that exercising does make me happy as long as I'm doing something I love. And I understand that it's really good for my health, which makes me more available to my team members and most importantly, more available to my family because I have more energy and I want to spend more time with them. So I've understood that within where I am in my life cycle, that it is important for me to prioritize myself because prioritizing myself allows me to be there for other people. I'm 39, I'm going to be 40 soon. So I definitely need to find ways to find more energy to be ready for my very active, very high energy 6 and 8 year old. Maybe when I was 32, working extremely long hours to make sure Protea works out, I could work those hours, get very little sleep, and still be wide awake and ready to go with my family. I'm not in that position anymore. But I had work-life balance then, and I have work-life balance now. But they're different. My life balance is dictated not just about how I feel about what I'm doing, but also my life stages. My work-life balance is dictated by what are the other things in my life that make me happy. And I think if you're trying to live a balanced life, it is really important for you to figure out what makes you happy. And what I've used successfully is identifying those happinesses and then time blocking for them. Now you'll hear about time blocking all the time in the workspace. Like this is when you do your heavy concentration work. This is where you do your meetings. This is where you do your mindless work. That's great. Having that type of, work blocks is important. But what I found very successful is having work blocks or life blocks in my day-to-day basis. My days, Monday to Friday, look very similar because I block them off in a way that this is work time, this is family time, this is Zane's time, this is passion's time. It's important if you want to live a balanced life to understand what needs to be done and what is important to you. So work is just one of those things we all have to do. It would be amazing if none of us had to ever work again, but unfortunately we all like stuff and we need to pay for it. So we need a job. I am very fortunate that I have a job that I love a lot. So work comes easy to me. I know that's not the case for everybody else, but I hope you could all find something that you truly are passionate in that can spend your time. And realize you're going to need some productive time without distractions during the day to do that work. A lot of you might go to an office and then it's sort of dictated to you. But if you're working from home, more important to identify this is my work time. And it doesn't have to be an 8-hour shift. It could be 3, 3, 2, or any combination of that. Mine look a little bit different, but generally I have a morning slot, I have a general day slot, and I have an evening slot. I try over the time make my evening slot smaller and smaller, my morning slot smaller and smaller, and push most of it into the middle. Back in the day, those slots were bigger because that's just what I needed to do, and that's what made me happy at that time. I also then reserved time for my family. That includes me cooking dinner for them on a nightly basis, which I guess maybe falls a little bit into my passion side, but it also feels like I am contributing to the household. And then we sit down and have dinner together, where we have conversations about our days and focus in on what went well, what didn't go well, and what are you looking forward to coming up. Those two acts, cooking the food and having dinner to them, is really, really important. I do not like to miss those. I might do it once in a while for important networking events, but generally speaking, I want to be around to cook dinner and have those meals with my family because that's my way to connect with them. I'll have other opportunities dropping into sports conversations, my school drop offs, and having conversation with my kids, going out for a walk with my wife. Those things are important to me. I make sure that I find time in every single day to have a conversation with each of them. You need some time in your life for passions as well, hobbies, interests, those types of things. It's finding time in your day-to-day basis to do something for you that stimulates a different part of your brain and makes you happy. I love going out and playing Pokemon Go with my kids. It's a fun activity. We spend time together, we talk about it, we have some fun. It could be me watching sports. I love Chelsea Football Club. I love watching the games. That's important to me. I'm very passionate about Nevada Youth Soccer Association and my input on that side in terms of running the rec program. I make sure I find time on my daily basis to check emails, respond to emails, do planning. It is very important to me. Another passion is coaching kids' sports. I love the opportunity to coach soccer and baseball with my kids. I make time for that and I block it off in my calendar to make sure that I'm at every practice and every game. Those passions are important to me and I find time for them in every single week. Lastly, one that I've neglected a lot over the last 10 years, but I've definitely become more focused this year, is finding time to look after my health. This could be as simple as going for a regular massage, which I probably need to do one sometime soon again. Try to figure that out maybe one Friday morning coming up soon. But it's finding time to exercise. At the moment, I'm just doing a very simple 20 minutes every morning. I then try out in a walk or a bike ride or something later in the day. But at 20 minutes, Monday to Friday, that I'm slotting in first thing, 6:50-ish to 7:10 before I come inside and have my breakfast. That is me focusing on me and making sure I'm healthy so that I can be there for my work, I can be there for my family, and I have the energy to fulfill my passions. I focus in on what makes me happy and make sure I find time for every single one of them on a daily basis. Monday to Friday is probably, it is work heavy. Weekends, definitely family and passion heavy. That's just the way my life goes. But for me, that's what balance looks like. And I always feel like my life is very fulfilled because I find time for all those things important to me in my life. I don't need to go Google what does life balance mean. I can tell you what it means. Work-life balance is when you're living a lifestyle where you get to spend time with work, you get to spend time with your family, you're able to do your passions and find time to look after your health. I work a ton of hours, but I would feel like more than most. I have a very, very balanced life. So I'm going to give you some homework today. Pull out a piece of paper, maybe notes on your phone, and write down everything that's important to you. Write down your work, your family, your friends, your passions, as well as your health. And for some of those, find daily slots for them. Others find weekly, and others find monthly. It could be as simple as scheduling in your life. Text a friend I haven't spoken to in a while. But I promise you, you will have a much more fulfilled life if you know what's important to you and you find time to spend with them. Work-life balance is real, but it is very different for every single individual. Forget about what they say online. Go and find what happiness means to you, and find time to continue to be happy. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Be kind. Goodbye.